Okay, and our next speaker will be Robert Begley with a speech entitled "What is College For?" This is Robert's preparation speech. He's preparing to be an MC at a college. And Robert, we would love to hear your speech. Go on ahead.
We don't need no education. We don't need no thought control. When that song came out by Pink Floyd, I was a street smart New Yorker who had no intentions of going to college. I would tell my friends, when I finish high school, I'm going to be a millionaire rock star. Yes, that's me at 17. Madam Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, spoiler alert, I did not become a millionaire rock star. However, if I did, I would be magnanimous with that money. And when I turned 18, finished school, I had to register for the military draft. And this scared me because that's the only thing I was ever afraid of. So I went to Midtown Manhattan, a place called Technical Career Institutes, and I asked them, if I go to this place, can I get drafted? And they said, no, not only won't you get drafted, but if you do, when you graduate, you would have a job on the tech side. So you might not even have to leave the United States. I was like, wow, I'm in. I told my mother that I'm moving to Manhattan and I'm going to be going to school there. She said two words, you're paying. And I was like, yes, of course, I know I'm paying. And for 2 years, 5 nights a week, I would eat no frills, macaroni and cheese, 20 cents a box. And on weekends, I would splurge by buying Kraft macaroni and cheese. 2 years later, I had my associate degree in electronics technology. But why did I have this aversion to college? Because I equated education with thought control or indoctrination. And if we look in the broader culture, there are 3 aspects of college that's kind of ingrained in people's minds. The first is activism. We're more likely to see students nowadays holding protest signs than holding textbooks. And I wanted no part of that. And the second one is sports programs, whether it's March Madness with college basketball, the bowl games, the Rose Bowl, the Hula Bowl, this bowl, and football. And whenever I hear those athletes interviewed, I think they're in college? Wow. And then the third part is spring break. Movies like Animal House, Spring Break, videos like Girls Gone Wild give the impression that college is a 4-year drunken party. This might appeal to some people, but for me, it made me ask, what's the actual purpose of college? And in that sense, my answer is to find the skills and knowledge that you need to achieve your real world goals to prepare you for life in the real world, not in the classroom. Think about entrepreneurs. Any entrepreneurs here today? Like, fortunately, they're held in somewhat high regard in the culture. But there are 2 characteristics that I think are essential to being an entrepreneur. Number 1 is independent thinking. And that's where you question whatever the conventional wisdom is, and you want to find a way to think outside the box. And this is colleges, when they do that, they're exactly setting up their students to succeed in the real world when they're encouraging this kind of independent thinking. And then the second one is self-reliance. And this actually piggybacks a little bit on what Benra was talking about, in the sense of, not beating yourself up, trying to become more self-reliant. And that's where you use your mind and your effort to pursue your goals in life. And an educational system that fosters that self-reliance can really set people up to succeed. I'd like to give some examples now of educational heroes. And the first is my dearest Carrie Ann Biondi, who taught philosophy for 25 years, the last 12 years in New York City. And her students never knew her views on religion, on philosophy, or on politics. And they would tell her, Professor Biondi, thank you, because you taught us how to think instead of telling us what to think, which is what most of the other professors do. And in 2020, when her college went pure indoctrination, Carrie Ann told me, she said, I can't do this anymore. I'm shrugging. I'm quitting. And she just left academia. Fortunately, there are other educational innovators who have been game changers throughout history. And the first one is one of my favorites, Maria Montessori. She's, you've likely heard of the Montessori method or Montessori schools, early 20th century thinker. And instead of lumping all the kids in one classroom and treating them all somewhat similarly, she gave individual attention, let the students, the children go at their own pace. But part of that learning was how to become independent and self-reliant. And if we look out in the culture, people who've gone through her Montessori method, Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Sergey Brin from Google, Taylor Swift and Beyonce in entertainment, and even in the past, Anne Frank. So that's Marva Collins is actually moving on to 1975, my other educational innovator. Her name is Marva Collins, and she was fed up with the public school system. And she said, I'm going to start my own school in the slums of Chicago. And she taught Shakespeare and the classics, and her students went on to become doctors, engineers, lawyers, etc. So following that method, right in Chicago, is a new school coming out that's going to be called Reliance College. And they're using the same idea of cultivating self-reliance and independent thinking. And I'm proud to, even though I still only have an associate degree in technology, I'm proud to promote this college, and I hope that they gain worldwide recognition because we need some we need some positive ideas on the college campus these days. Thank you.